Comrades, gather round. Today marks a historic turning point for our beloved Krakhozia. The Central Committee has unveiled the first plan to industrialize our nation. Workers, miners, and railmen, listen well, for our nation's blueprint lies in your hands. It is etched in coal dust and iron. Bounty from the depths shall fuel our ascent. We will hew coal from the ancient veins, and the locomotives shall sing our anthem. Remember these words, comrades. The future depends on you. Glory to Krakhozia.
Welcome back to our playthrough of Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. We're doing the campaign, a bit of a tutorial, my first attempt at the game. Welcome. I've just linking up some pedestrian tunnels because I have ambitious plans to build a national railway. And we need to get those people safely across our highway so they can attend the railway station that we are going to build shortly. We are burning through the budget. We have less than 5 million rubles and 2 million dollary dues. Right. Now, about the railway. We have some space to work with, but not a lot. So we have to be mindful of where we place things and how much track we use. So firstly, like our highway, we will think about just drawing a stretch of railway to reserve that space. Okay. Now that the thinking music has started, what kind of train stations do we have to work with? We've got a large train station for 2,500 workers. That's quite a station. We have 5 in and outcoming rails. Maybe a little bit too big for our purposes at the moment. We have 5,000 people in our town. So I would say a better train platform would be about 1,000 workers. What have we got? 900 here. 2 rails. That will suit our purposes. We'll line it up with the main boulevard here going into town. Get that pixel perfect placement. Okay. And then we want the stretch of rail just to give us an approximation of a destination. Nice and close to our pedestrian tunnel entrances. They're quite expensive to build, but I feel like it'll be a good investment to keep people alive so they avoid crossing our highway. Double track layout. Right track outgoing, left track incoming. What have we got here? Railway end stations. Well, we do need a terminus station because we have nowhere to go outside of our little peninsula. But it does have an exit from it, which is interesting. I believe an end station can only drop off people. That's how it works in my logic. Alright, and we also need a railway depot. Not the largest one. And we'll need a little bit of space away from the main rail, the main line, in case we have to widen it or add extra tracks. There's a very long one, but I think that's just too long for our purposes. And I need enough space here to have a little loop around so that trains that enter the end station can then go to the depot. Right. So we'll lay down the road and the foundation for our rail yard. And I will definitely be using the other side of the track as industry. So we will probably need an extra line, an industrial line, to run in and merge to the main line. Right, so we'll set up a fancy little rail yard and try and get some looping track around. I'm not sure how much space I need to get a 180 turn in the track, but we'll soon find out. There's the basis for the yard. And it doesn't matter so much if a road crosses the rail in the rail yard. There wouldn't be too much traffic. So I need more space. The rail needs about 100 meters to turn around. Coming in a bit closer to the shore. But this could be sort of the main thoroughfare into our industrial zone. And we have 110 meter turnabout on the outside track. 92 on the inside. And then we just need to feed them back into one line, I think, because they're only going to the depot from here. There we go. I think that looks good. We've got a lot of green space as well between the highway and the rail yard. Now we need the service line to feed into the main line so our new locomotives can join the party. Got 3 tracks to work with. And we need to give them the ability to merge in to all lines. If we go out from the center, need a bit longer track. There we go, that should be enough. Now, so we're going out from the center. I want an industrial line, or a freight line, off to the left of screen, so we do need the 3 tracks here. It's about even. And then I will need the same going back to the center line. I do wonder if curvature affects the speed of the train. In Transport Fever, that's a big factor, like you don't want really sharp turns with your trains, because it could drop the speed right down. Okay. And then we need to feed into the main passenger line. But we'll give lots of space for our trains to marshal. Just trying to picture it in my head. How do I want it to go? And then we'll go back out again. That means that any trains that are coming into or out of the depot will be able to navigate around each other just fine. So we merge the depot rail into the passenger line on outgoing on the right side. Then trains coming out of the depot can wait their turn before entering the main line. That'd be good. And then we need a way for them to come back to the depot if I call them home. Right, I need a little bit of space. I think this will be enough. And I will wait until the rail is past the community before I attach it back to the main line, because I may put another train station here at some stage if it's required. I'm not really sure where we're going. We don't have any resources to bring back to town yet. Looking at the available mines and tracks and stations that I've got, logically I think the first resource we'll gain access to will either be lumber or some type of aggregate. Whether that be stone, coal. There are a lot of them. There's bauxite, iron ore, coal ore. There's a few in the list. I think the priority will be to try and find coal ASAP. And like our rail depot, we'll have a feeder track in and out of this station. Give myself a little bit of length. So we will no doubt have a few trains coming in to drop things off. Once we find something to drop off, there's enough space there to sneak our road past into the main industrial zone. It's almost 180 turn. Yeah, we'll do 180 here. I was going to try and feed it back, but no. But we want to come nice and close, just to give ourselves a lot of space for more construction. Can I bring the other line around? Or should I just join it up here? That way we could have 2 trains unloading and 1 queuing up. Maybe 2 queuing up in this feeder track. Then we want our exit out. The left lane will have to merge in. Okay, so the incoming train, yes, needs to be in that track. It's very much a puzzle trying to figure out how you want imaginary trains to run when we haven't got anything to pick up yet. If you keep seeing it flashing on screen, that's a, what do you call it? A time-lapse feature that I'm running at the moment. I want to see how that works out. Might be able to make some cool videos with time-lapse construction. Okay, so where to now? Should I just head it up towards the border? We need a junction here so that passenger trains can load and unload at both directions. Incoming and outgoing. And then I may need to put a siding in as well for passenger trains to wait in if the station is full. But that's something to think of later on. And then as we come out of our aggregate drop-off, we'll need to cross the track here. I had a good think about it, and I've decided to go double rail through our industrial, because I thought if I was to use, say, a coal train or an iron ore train, it's going to be pretty long. So I'd need space. So this extra track should give them more than enough room. All connected. If I put an extra track in there, we could have 2 trains unloading. Signal is required for them to wait. We want that to be one way. So it comes in, they unload, and then they head straight out on their merry way. Can I put another signal in here? Yes. Just so that I don't get any stupid ideas about coming out of that station. We've got a few different types. We've got a mixed signal, and a 2-way signal, and a chain signal, as well as the standard semaphore. Alright, so let's build our track to nowhere. If we're going to head to the border, I need to cross the highway unimpeded. But I have a feeling that this is going to be ugly as sin. Yes, it is. And too much angle across the highway for my liking. Going to make the highway one way. each side. Doesn't cost any money to do that, which is good. We're not going to see much personal transport for a little while, I don't think. It's not going to be like capitalist city builder, where everyone has their own car straight away. And traffic's a major consideration. I think it's just really the state's in transport that we'll have to be managing for now. We'd have to be a pretty fancy pants Soviet Republic for everyone to have cars. And there's our highway off to nowhere as well. We'll find a destination for it. But at least we're thinking of the future. There we go, that's our highway set up. Need to delete this off. And we might head down towards the junction. Decided that the least intrusive method will be to build a tunnel under the highway. That way, if I have to upgrade the highway, it's not going to affect us too much. The tunnel's going 9 meters under the highway. It's a respectable tunnel. Lucky we're not having to dig it out. It's still foreign labor. It's a little bit wobbly in there. Might be a bit of a bumpy ride. And then ascending to come out next to the other side of the highway. I have a feeling that it's going to probably send me bankrupt if I try and build all the way to the border with the rail. So I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I may have to progress the campaign a little bit to get some new objectives. We need 2 tunnels or it's going to be a traffic nightmare. At least 2. That's going to set us back another couple 100,000 rubles. Connect up the second tunnel. Semaphore in the way. No, there isn't. There we go. Joined up. I think it's looking somewhat professional. Bit crazy loop there. What's that? Junction so close. Do a lot of demolishing and building in this game. See if we can trim this rail out without destroying the rest of it. We'll have a little siding off here just before the tunnel so that we can have traffic waiting their turn to go into the tunnel. Make it long enough for a respectable length train, nearly 200 meters. And then we need to signal that up. That's one way. And the other side as well. Just basic signaling now for reference. Alright, now we have to possibly... Well, how long was the other tunnel? It was nearly 1.6 kilometers. It's going to be a fair length rail tunnel. And we need 2 of them. Okay, now we need storage for whatever we're going to bring in. We've got an aggregate drop-off, so we need an aggregate storage. We'll go 2,500 tons worth of storage. And I want it to come out off the trains as quick as possible. Wait for unloading into, I don't know, whatever facility we put to process it. Or perhaps I should build a dock for export. The next step will be to get the train station linked. So we'll build some offshoots off of our main roads. The buses can collect people from the town to bring them to the train stations. We'll leave bus stops just outside. As well as a lot of these, the station should be within walking range of a lot of houses as well, through the tunnels once they're built. We have a couple of extra housing blocks built. Just cloned them in off camera. Between the first episode and this one. There's a cool little feature where you just click and drag and you can plop down and it clones everything. Upgrade the road to have some lighting. We definitely need fences. We don't want people wandering onto the tracks. Soundproof high walls. And then around the end station. I'm assuming that you can drop people off at an end station, so I'll leave a gap. Doesn't seem to be a way to pick them up though, so I may have to change that station because we have houses close. Get a very professional looking rail yard going on. I've got a guardhouse and boom gate. Can I limit traffic by using that? Let's try that. It lets me connect my fences up too. Knock out some of that fencing so we can connect it up. And then we can go around the unloading station. And that will be the limit of our rail yard. For now, anyway. We'll keep the storage outside because it'll be used for other things. I'm wondering how to find resources. It's probably just part of the tutorial and I'm just doing a Skyrim, going off on my own. So I get my handheld, but I can do what I want. Let's finish up the rail yard here. Fence across there. Where is Mr. Lennon? Where is Lennon at? Monuments, there he is. We want a big one. So he keeps an eye on everyone coming in. A few phalluses for good measure. And then at least passengers on our line will know they've arrived home from working in whatever tedious industry they're in. I wasn't able to draw a connection, so I have to use one of these little fancy conveyor engine transfer units to get the goods. And we can sneak a train underneath it. Cool. I think the first stages of our infrastructure are complete. What are we going to do? Cableways. Ooh, harbour. Harbour for aggregate unloading. Cableway unloading terminal. That's really cool. Build a mountaintop mine. Now, I don't usually like to terraform, but we did dig a 1.6 kilometer tunnel through a mountain, so we have a bit of backfill to use. And I do need a little bit of space. So we just play it that I had a giant pile of dirt to use. And we're going to put a dock here so that we can export whatever goodies we dig out of the ground. And so our first exports are probably going to be done by sea. And that may work out to be cheaper, assuming the ships aren't crazy prices. Now we need a second way into our industrial zone, so I'm building a concrete bridge over the rail. And we have a fair amount of space there to build some industry. And hopefully that's enough space so that our people don't get irradiated or whatever happens with pollution. The waste section is blocked out, so perhaps there isn't any pollution. This road will allow any transport vehicles to get into and out of the zone from both sides. That's good. Probably not enough, but we'll see. Really just building blind. I've never played the game before. Connect up our engine. Just go right down the shoreline. Rolling the mouse wheel gives you a nice little curvature. Alright, looking good. Everything's ready to build. Let's have a look at our objectives. What have we got? Coal mining. Please, yes. Build a coal mining district. I just had a game crash when I accepted that, so we're back. Stefan Kovalev strongly recommends prioritizing establishment of coal mines due to the critical role that coal plays in the nation's development. It's a key resource in energy generation. At the coal mines, we extract unprocessed coal ore, a valuable raw material. Turn off that time-lapse thingy. Can I do that? And when establishing coal mines, we must select locations where coal is abundant. Building mines in areas with higher coal reserves will optimize. Oh, what? Research is necessary to see the location. But the Soviet Union has pointed one out for us. And I think it's 1,000,000 kilometers away from our town. Not a bad... Yeah, it is. A huge distance. But let's try and find some somewhere else. Can you do that? Oh, wait. We've got spots of coal here. Oh, that's so much better. And fortuitously, we've built the rail very close to our coal deposits. Pretty good quality too, 80%. The target is 15. 85. Or 84. There's quite a lot there. And it's going to be on the top of the mountain where our guys that just drilled through the mountain to make the road, no doubt broke through coal when they did it. So we'll just roleplay that that's how we found this coal. 84%. It's a little bit dangerous having mines and a road tunnel, but hey. Take what you can get. Alright, what do we need next? We've got the coal mine. We will want a buffer for whatever it creates, the coal ore. That way, if production at the facility stops, we still have ore to process for a limited time. It's a fairly big storage, 5,000. Let's go for something a little bit smaller. 2,500 tons, pretty good buffer. We do have to level out the land a little bit. But that doesn't interfere too much with the delivery of the coal. Okay, what next? We will need to process it. Coal mine, coal processing plant. 15 workers, 120 coal. Or, quite large. Might build it as close to the storage buffer as I can. Leveling out. Oh, it's very expensive. 123,000 rubles. So make sure you place it in the right spot. It uses 210 tons of coal ore to create 120 tons of coal. So we could probably afford to have a couple of processing plants per mine. Just feeding off our storage buffer. Alright, then we want storage for the refined coal. Another 2,500 tons. Not sure how much a train can carry yet. We'll have to explore that soon. Or how long we can have our trains. We will need a loading station. It's a 4-track one. It's a 6-track one. It's a 2-track one. That's more suitable. Spin it around so it can feed off of our coal storage. That way, if our industry stops for whatever reason, we still have something to collect, and we can respond to any shortages or traffic jams. Feels like a nice blend of Factorio, city skylines, transport fever. It's very cool. As well as being its own thing, of course. Alright, we want the tracks to come off and head up to the loading bay. We're still going to keep that line going under the mountain at some stage. Level it out. Don't want our trains working too hard or tipping off the rails. So we've got two, so this will be like a passenger station. We can have two collecting at the same time. So we want a junction where they can cross to join the loading process. And then I need a loop track back out. So we do need to reserve some space here for our coal mining operation. We've got enough space here for a turnabout. But we'll try and keep it nice and close. Wait, so that is coming in and it will want to go out. And then I need a junction, and I need to make this one way. Just pondering, trying to imagine the trains actually running. Okay, so going out. Both of these lines are going out. So I don't really want it to merge in with the incoming line at all. And I need a junction. That's not going to work. That's I'll come back to that. Putting a siding here, and trains coming to the coal mine will come off of that and then turn across the track. So they're not blocking any mainline trains going under the mountain in future. Trying to think pretty far ahead. And then we'll have another siding here for trains coming back from the coal mine to solve that dilemma that we had with the tunnel. So we have a siding on both sides before the tunnel for trains waiting to go into it as well. Need a signal here. You have to do it a little bit far away from the nodes. It's one way. And the same on this side as well. Trains coming from the coal mine will come onto the siding and then go through the tunnel. Again, so we're trying not to interfere with the main line. There will be some issues here with the crossover. Well, not issues, but trains will need to watch. Tiny little gap here that we can't join. Then we need to put a signal here to tell them to stop if they need to. You can't crash your trains in Transport Fever, but I do wonder if you can crash your trains in Soviet Republic. So we do need to, we'll keep that in mind. We're going to build a dirt road here to reserve space for our second lane of the highway. We haven't dug that tunnel yet. But I don't want to block that at all. I do like that our coal mine sits on top of that. Wonder what other goodies we have lying under our feet I'm not aware of. Then we need an entrance to our mine. And I thought that I would set up a bus line or a truck line as well. Just to bring back some extra resources or to bring workers to the mine site. I will put in a rail as well, I think. I can't remember how many workers the mine uses, but I think it's over 200. The plant uses 15. It's a little bit too steep for our road, so I'm going to level out the terrain. Smooth it, rather. That's better. Would hate to see a loaded truck try to get out of that before. Alrighty. Too steep on the sides. We'll put in a bus station. That way we can set up an easy bus line. If I can't afford to get trains on the tracks, at least I can get workers here by bus. I'm getting a bit worried about our funds. I might not have enough to buy the trains I need. So if I have to choose one, it will be a coal train. Okay, connecting up the paths so the workers can get to their jobs. The mine is a bit far away. Let's hopefully, if we put the best path down, it's within range. Is it within range? No, it's still not. How am I going to solve this? This is not giving me any readings about how far away it is, while the other buildings are. So I'm a little bit confused. Going to put some car parks in. That way the bosses can get to work. No doubt the high-ranking officials will have a car. This one's a bit ugly. Get rid of that. We moved the bus station as well. It took me 15 minutes to decide where I wanted to put it, but that is the best option. We solved the issue of people not being able to get to the goddamn coal mine. Will I put a car park here? No, I'm just chewing up space, I think. Pixel perfect placement is required. Going to start the tunnel. I'm not going to dig it all the way through, it's very expensive. It's going to cost us 50,000 rubles just to get that far. Another 100,000 there. That should do for now, just reserve it up. So that our miners don't dig one through the roof. I think we're pretty much ready to build it. It's all the rails are in. The money's draining quickly. Coal mine is built. Roads are done. Storage is done. We're just waiting on the processing plant and the train station. Now what? I think it's time to buy the train. There's the money dwindling. Should I buy the train before we've spent it and be cheeky? Alright, the coal processing plant's finally built. Just fixing up this wall. Objective is to manufacture a minimum of 100 tons of processed coal. Let's focus on efficient transport and processing of raw coal. Okay, yep. So we've done that. We've set up a processing plant. That means we have to carry less coal on our network. And it'll be worth more being refined. And I'm going to fence off the rest of the compound to keep our precious coal safe from any capitalists that would try to buy it. Put in a fancy copper sign. And yeah, she's looking good. And we've got a little bit of extra space. I've reserved out where the extra deposits are as well. So inside the bounds are the best deposits of coal. Now we just need hands to work the mill. And we're going to get them with buses. What sort of buses do we have? We have a lot of vehicles to choose from. We've got minibuses, trucks. Different speeds and capacities. I want something fast with a large capacity. We've got 40, 80, 60. It's 85 k's an hour, but only 40 passengers. We've got 65 k's an hour, but 80 passengers. That's a better throughput. So we'll take 6 of those. The train platform is full of people that want to go and work in the mines, but unfortunately we don't have a train yet, so we're setting up the bus station and a car park. I'm just doing the car parks for aesthetics. It's very hard for me to imagine a city without car parks. The pedestrian crossings are built. Now I just need to link them up with paths. And our people can stop crossing the highway. Because they obviously did to get to that station. Put in a bigger car park to fill the gap out. The paths are not... they're not cooperating the way I want them to. Okay, I think we're good to build that. We just need this one linked up to the station. This bottom one here is way out of distance, but I'm going to put another station in at some point nearby. Have short stop trains, and then a train heading out to the coal mine, no doubt. Fountains are in. Let's put some trees to hide the ugly paths. Juvenile trees. Put some more in between the rail, just behind Lennon's back. Give something for the rail yard workers to do. I'm going to have trains and buses bringing people. The trains will bring bursts of people, 200-300 people at a time, but they will be less frequent, and I could have a bus line bringing 80 people to the mine site every, 2 or 3 hours. And because they work in shifts, I need to have about 600 people coming through here all the time. At the moment, I think that's too many trains for my budget. So the bus train combo will work. I'm having a bit of a problem here figuring out what I'm going to do with the passenger line, and the solution will be to have the passenger line pass through the loading but not stop on a separate track. And then the train's loading will be on the left side. So the coal workers will get to see a run through the loading facility every day on their way home from work. That's just a short-term solution. We're building an extra rail for the coal trains that are coming in and out. I'm expecting coal trains to be pretty long, so I'm giving them extra track. And I've heard this song so many times now, I'm hearing lyrics. Gonna make a music video for it. It's like bad lip reading. A little bit of a mess. Only basic signaling up. Alright, it's time to buy a train. Oh, look at all the trains. We don't have electric, so we're going to have to go diesel. We're going to spend our dollary dues to do that. G12 diesel. They've got different power ratings, lengths, and weight. So that one has pretty high power, 100 tons. That one's pretty high power, 100 tons. They're all roughly the same. Let's have a look at the Soviet ones for comparison. Slower, 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 but high-powered one. The T7 looks like a capable engine. But we're going to spend our dollary dues. We want to save our rubles. Let's go with the G16. It has respectable weight to power ratio. How many can we fit? 9? 10? 11. No, we can't fit 11. The train is too long. I wonder if that's a limit of the depot size, because there is a longer depot you can build. And we will need a passenger train. That wasn't as expensive as I thought it was going to be. Can't use electric trains. Do I just buy the same locomotive? Let's have a look at the diesels so I don't get distracted by electric locomotives. The G8 seems like a pretty good passenger locomotive. Lightweight, high speed, mediocre engine power, but the power to weight is not too bad. We have no wagons that we can purchase with our dollars, and there's only one wagon available for rubles. We can carry 98 passengers, 24 meters long. That will give us 296 passengers on our passenger line, which is enough for one whole shift plus a few extras up at the coal mine. So let's set up a line, set up a new stop. First time setting up a line, but I've done it before in Transport Fever. New stop here. And then our loading bay. Yeah, that's the passenger. And it's not finished yet. Yep, now we can set that up. We've set up the passenger line first because it's the shorter train, and I want to see if this actually works. I know the theory of signaling, but I don't know how it works so much in this game, so we'll see how our trains react. We're setting up the coal line now. First stop will be pickup. Second stop will be drop off. Nice and simple line. Repeat for eternity. First stop is unreachable from the current position. What? Is that because the passenger train is still blocking the depot? Or have I messed up my line somewhere? Passenger train's working fine. Let's try again. Still unreachable. Okay, 20 minutes of searching the line. And I think I've solved it. There was a tiny little bit of missing rail that wasn't connected. But it wasn't visual from a distance. You had to zoom right in and there was a train stop right there in the middle of the track. Let's go now. Yep, it works. There was a little tooltip which told me how far the train could get, but it didn't show me where the issue was. That's okay, it's my fault, I built it. Alright, so the theory is that our coal train will pick up coal and bring it back to our town to then load on a boat. But to do that, we need to put in the boat harbour. So we've got an aggregate loading dock. There are so many different types of docks. It's very interesting. Ship dock small, ship dock medium. Maximum ship length 233 meters. That's a big boy. I think that'll be big enough for our purposes. We'll splat her down there. So this must be where we buy the ships. Pro tip from Transport Fever, name your lines. I set up some basic waypoints so I don't have to worry too much about signaling just yet. But we've just got basic signals because two trains, they're not going to run into each other very often. But when they do, it'll be catastrophic. I do wonder, will we crash? I've been keeping a careful eye on them. I think our town is starting to look really good. Get started on the passenger line for real now. I think we're ready. The coal processing plant is at full capacity. We have coal in the coffers. Let's buy a ship. What have we got access to? Nothing in the American side or the dollar side. A hopper ship? That is a big bulk carrier. 8,000 tons. And the price tag to match would send us nearly broke. So we're going to go with the hopper ship. They are 14-knot ships. They carry 1,000 or 1,100 tons. That's a fair amount of coal. That's 1.5 trains worth of coal each time the boat leaves. We successfully completed the coal mission, and I've just been watching my trains run. This is super satisfying. We haven't had very many issues. The signals are working where they need to. The passenger train gets stopped a few times, which I don't particularly like. It should have preference, I think, but the coal train is bigger, so... Well, that was a fun little build. I've taken the next objective to build farms, but I want to set up my export line now that the storage in city is full. We've got a Russian town here. Can we just export straight across the harbour to them? That would be excellent. It'd be a very short trip then. But it doesn't seem like that's the case. We have to set up across the borders. Start him on the line. And I need to copy that across. I've got the wrong ship selected. Then we select that one, copy it across. Let's buy some more shippies. Yep, he's on the line. That's good. Unemployment is at 42%. It's much better than last episode, 75%. We have some jobs available. More hopper ships. 2 more. And then we'll set up a trade line with NATO as well to make some dollars. But not yet. We'll just pump out. We need to prop our rubles up. They're on a constant stream out due to imports. It seems to be the food and stuff that I set up is constantly draining the bank account. There we go. The aggregate's loading into the hopper ship. That's fantastic. Super satisfying. The production line from start to finish. And let's see how much money we make from that. So yeah, I'm losing 22,000 rubles a month just in keeping my people alive. So I need to get these exports started ASAP, and I think 4 ships is pretty good, but we may need another train. Yeah, we're going to strip that storage dry before the train even gets back. Got a queue of boats here, but they should space themselves out. No indication of the line length just yet. They have to complete a lap first. Second ship is away. Oh, yes. We've set up sea exports. Oh, my favorite. We need to create a new train. It's going to be too much for our single locomotive to deal with. We'll just completely the same. Another 10 wagons. Another 720 tons worth of coal. And then we just need to copy that line to the coal train. We have 2 loading bays and 2 unloading bays, so there should be very little issues with these 2 running together. Except at the start when they matched. Copy, copy, copy. Which train am I copying? This one needs to be copied to this one. It's a lot of menu juggling, but you do get used to it, I think. I think you would. Alright, they're away. Wait, let's stop. We're going to change the colour. Just so we can differentiate which train is which. That'll do, light green. We've done it. We have done it. Well, I think that'll do us for this episode. If you've enjoyed the video, make sure to hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, make sure you do so. I'm Commander Tyrael. This is Krakhozia. We will see you next time.